Grinding Gear Games, the developers behind this highly anticipated sequel, Path of Exile 2, was hit with a data breach. This video is sponsored by Stonefly. More on that at the end of the video. A data breach at GGG compromised personal information belonging to a limited number of Path of Exile accounts, including some Path of Exile 2 accounts. Thankfully, the scale of the breach seems relatively small. GGG estimates around 66 accounts were affected. That said, even a single compromised account is a big deal, especially when it comes to your hard-earned in-game loot and more. So, how did this happen? According to GGG, it all boils down to a social engineering attack. Social engineering attacks rely on human error and trickery instead of fancy hacking techniques. They prey on things like trust and exploit vulnerabilities in our online habits. Hackers targeted an old, unused Steam account linked to a developer's account. Through some sneaky tactics, they gained access to this admin account and used it to mess with a limited number of Path of Exile player accounts. The good news: GGG claims the attackers primarily changed passwords, not accessed any sensitive financial information. However, there's a chance they might have seen email addresses, IP addresses, and even past purchases. Not ideal for anyone. So, what can you do to protect yourself? Here are some tips. Enable two-factor authentication. This adds an extra layer of security, making it much harder for unauthorized access. Beware of phishing emails. Don't click on suspicious links or attachments, even if they seem to come from GGG. Always double-check the sender's email address. Use strong, unique passwords. Avoid using the same password for multiple accounts. And avoid easily guessable passwords like your birthday or pet's name. GGG is currently investigating the breach and taking steps to improve their security measures. They've also apologized to affected players and are offering support to help them regain control of their accounts. So why should we care about this breach? Well, it raises important questions about data security in gaming. With more players turning to online games like Path of Exile 2 for entertainment, developers must prioritize protecting user data. As gamers, we often invest not just our time, but also our emotions into these virtual worlds. We build characters, forge alliances, and sometimes even share personal stories with fellow players. So when a breach like this occurs, it feels like a betrayal, not just from the hackers, but from the developers we trust with our data. Now the big question: were you affected? There's no official way to check if your account was specifically compromised. However, GGG recommends changing your password immediately as a precaution. That covers the news, however. Data breaches like these are becoming all too common, don't you think? This is why we have partnered with Stonefly to offer daily security review subscribers a special promo on Stonefly backup and disaster recovery solutions. Get a 70 terabytes air-gapped and immutable Veeam, Rubrique, Commvault, Site Recovery, Backup, and Disaster Recovery appliance for $7,995. Contact sales at stonefly.com for details. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check back for more cybersecurity news and analysis. And as always, thanks for watching.